Manchester United have kicked off the season with a big 3 points at home to Fulham thanks to debutant Joshua Zirkzee. A thoroughly entertaining game that could have seen many more than the one goal seen tonight, with chances at both ends, including Bruno Fernandes having multiple opportunities to put Man United 1-0 up, and Fulham having some good efforts from corners. There's a few things to talk about, so let's have a little look at the analysis of Man United 1, Fulham 0. And if you want to see loads more football content, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the thumbs up if you enjoy. So an interesting start to this game, and these were the lineups. We saw Harry Maguire start alongside Martinez at the back, and Mazraoui making his debut on that right-hand side for Ten Hag. Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo making up the midfield in behind Mason Mount, but Amad Diallo and Rashford getting the starts over Garnacho, Sancho and the likes. We also saw Bruno Fernandes up front. Whereas on the other side of the pitch, we saw Emil Smith-Rowe getting his debut for Fulham, and the likes of Pereira, Leno and Traore once again starting. If we look at the stats of the game, then you can see Man United having more possession and a significantly higher XG than Fulham in this game. Not that many more shots, few more on target, but big chances for them, including one that we'll talk about late on in the game. Manchester United were the ones creating the chances early in this game, and with Bruno Fernandes as a striker in this game, the defenders didn't seem to be able to pick him up that well because he was making midfielder-esque runs. Being played through by the likes of Casemiro in this game, he had some very, very good chances, including this one where he tried an outside-the-boot finish, but Leno made himself big and actually saved it very, very well. He also then proceeded to miss this chance due to another big Leno save where he stuck out this left foot really, really well, and if Bruno had just got a little bit of height on it, he would have scored here. And he had a chance a couple of minutes in between this as well, where he could have taken it onto his left and had a strike, but took too long on the ball. He just didn't seem to quite have that finishing, clinical ability of a proper striker. And these chances for Bruno are shown here in the momentum graph of this game, where Man United took control of pretty much the entirety of the first half. But then at the start of the second, Fulham came out of the blocks really going for it. You had Adama Traore in this game getting the best of Lisandro Martinez at times, Andreas Pereira and Emil Smith-Rowe trying to create things, and Muniz having a good game up front when he could get the ball on the floor. In the air, he was struggling to do anything against Harry Maguire, who was fantastic. But I'm very surprised looking at these match ratings here to only see Casemiro get a 7.9. I'm assuming that this is partially because he did have some efforts, headers from corners, and also shots that he missed the target with. As you can see, shot accuracy 0 out of 3 here. But apparently he only won 2 out of his 4 tackles. He made a block, he made 4 clearances, 3 headed clearances. He was massive from corners. An interception, 11 defensive actions with 6 recoveries. He was a beast, won 7 duels as well, and he was starting attacks from deep. As I said before, you'd potentially have someone like a Mainoo play it into Casemiro, then he'd play the forward pass and the attackers would get on the end of it. But things completely changed when Joshua Zirkzee came on. Manchester United actually made all 5 of their allowed subs in this game. Johnny Evans and De Ligt coming on for Maguire and Mazraoui, McTominay for Kobbie Mainoo, and Garnacho and Zirkzee coming on for Amad Diallo and Mason Mount. But Zirkzee immediately getting involved after coming on by coming deep and getting involved in the play. Instead of just sitting up front and trying to be a target man, he wanted to be on the ball, starting attacks himself and then getting on the end of it. And this was the goal. So he picked up the ball just inside the Fulham half and created this attack, and then ended up getting the ball in from Garnacho, a mid-air toe poke-esque finish with his left foot, sees the ball creep in at the far post, and Zirkzee on his debut having a big impact. Garnacho also having a big impact in this game, but there was a chance at the very end of this game where Bassi, terrible attempt at a clearance, completely whiffs it, misses the ball, Rashford lunges onto it, goes through one-on-one against the keeper, decides, you know what, I'm going to be unselfish today after missing some chances in the FA Cup final, after missing some chances in the Community Shield final, squares it to Garnacho. You think, open goal, tap in, but no, he he put it wide. The ball ended up dribbling out somewhere over here. But what has to be said as the main takeaways from this game, Man United actually seem like they have some kind of plan this season. Whether it's a one-off, we did see some little bits in the Community Shield. They need to find that consistently. Dalot and Mazraoui played so high and wide that they were always providing an option, whether it was an overlap or an underlap for their winger, or just supporting by potentially then coming inside and helping with another body in midfield. But at times this did also hinder them because both fullbacks would commit to this when the ball wasn't on their side. And so, for example, the ball might be on the right-hand side and Mazraoui's committing, going up towards Ahmad and providing an option there. That's fine. But then you also had Dalot on the other end bombing forward, and so then when Fulham managed to turn over possession, they had a great opportunity to counterattack. And in a couple of instances in this game, it was only due to big interceptions from people like Casemiro. Harry Maguire had a ridiculously good block of a pass attempt from Pereira in a 2-on-1 situation at the back due to one of these instances. Lisandro Martinez flung himself into a challenge, didn't win the ball, and Maguire did really well. And he himself did have a very good game alongside Casemiro tonight. And for Fulham, I feel like there was quite a little bit of stuff going on that made you interested in watching them play. Going forward, they had options. Robinson was helping down this left-hand side. He had a very good game. Didn't commit one foul tonight. He was very sound defensively and then was offering help to Iwobi down the left. Smith Rowe through the middle, providing an opportunity. And Pereira basically being a sort of deep-lying playmaker that occasionally got further forward and involved in the attacks was really good to see. Adama Traore is Adama Traore. He bombs it down the wing, and that's about all you're going to get out of him. But at one point early in the game, he did provide a really good opportunity for Iwobi where he cut it back, and Mazraoui with a huge tackle managed to stop him. So some really good performances, a lot to take away from this for both teams. Fulham have got to take positives from this though. Only losing 1-0 away at Old Trafford, first game of the season, is not bad. Yes, they probably should have conceded more goals and easily could have. Man United, on the other hand, they have to take the flip positive of that. They only won 1-0 whilst they were being really poor in front of goal. Now, if Zirkzee can start, and when Højlund's back from injury, maybe, if they play like they did tonight, they'll be more clinical with their chances, and they would have put this game to bed and won maybe 3-0. But a really, really entertaining and interesting start to the season. I'm just happy that football is back. So let me know your thoughts on the game. Did you enjoy it? Was it as you expected? I said Man United would win 3-1. They could have done. That could easily have been the scoreline with the chances that we had tonight, but it was not to be. A 1-0 win for the mighty Red Devils to start off this season. And Ten Hag looking like maybe he is actually putting some work into implanting some kind of system to this team. We'll have to wait and see whether that continues as the season goes on. But for now, we've got lots of other matches to look forward to. I'll see you for more videos very soon. Goodbye.